Okay, well, we are going to officially get our Manitoba Chicken Summer Grilling Facebook and Instagram Live party underway. I'm Gina Sunderland, Food and Consumer Relations Specialist Dietitian with Manitoba Chicken Producers, and I am so excited to be joined by our special guest and a friend of Manitoba Chicken, Shauna Lapointe, and I'm going to let Shauna introduce herself and share a little bit with all of you why she loves cooking, meal planning, and meal prepping, and she has become quite a well-known expert. Take it away, Shauna.
Thanks for having me, Gina.
My pleasure. Thank you for joining me.
I'm Shauna, and my business is Too Busy Living, and it's a food blog and business focused on helping busy families master meal prep and meal planning. I have a busy family,
yes,
and I'm a teacher by day, so I like to use meal planning and meal prep just to make sure everything runs smoothly.
Exactly, yeah. And you've got quite a following, Shauna, and you're helping so many people do such wonderful things because there's nothing better than cooking our own healthy meals. And Shauna and I are going to show you how to prepare 2 beautiful summer grilling recipes that you're going to want to make, of course, all spring, all summer long. But we're also going to tell you how you can make these in the dead of a Manitoba winter. So thank you, everyone, for joining us tonight on this beautiful Manitoba summer evening. It just makes you want to turn on that barbecue. Well, to get things started, and I do want to mention, I'm going to talk more about the prize pack, but we have 3 great prize packs tonight. To be eligible, you just have to stay on for the whole live and ask Shauna and I a question. Ask us about one of the recipes, share your favorite recipe, ask us a question about food safety, meal prep, and ask a question about Manitoba chicken producers, about our farmers. We're happy to answer all of your questions. So our first recipe is one of my absolute favorite recipes. It is our Spanish chicken skewers with yogurt sauce. Now this recipe uses chicken thighs, skinless, boneless chicken thighs, and Shauna's recipe is going to use chicken breasts. And you can swap out either one for either recipe. But I want to just show everyone how you cut chicken thighs to make them work perfectly for a skewer. So I've got my 3 chicken thighs here. This recipe uses 8, but I just wanted to show you how easy it is. You just open them up, nice and long. Hope everyone can see this. I like to cut these thighs into what I call little ribbons. So each chicken thigh typically cuts into about 3 perfect ribbons. And that just makes it so easy to thread onto our skewers. You can make full-size skewers for a meal. You can also make, delicious little mini appetizer-sized skewers that make a wonderful backyard party. Okay, so the way I do it, I almost think of it as sewing. I just skewer in and thread back and forth, back and forth. But this would be after your chicken, of course, is marinated. But I just wanted to show you that technique, and you can put as many ribbons as you want. You know, for a full meal-sized skewer, you're going to want to put a whole thigh for sure. So I'm just going to give my hands a little scrub-a-doodle down with this sanitizer wipe.
So we have a little tip about the skewers.
Yes, we do.
Before you're going to skewer your chicken, you want to make sure that you soak them for 30 minutes just in cold water. Warm water even, doesn't matter. And that just ensures that the skewers don't burn when you place them on the grill or you put them in the oven.
Right, do not need a fire on the grill. So Shauna, this is an absolute delicious marinade, and I am gonna have you help me make it. And something that you love about this recipe,
it uses basic pantry ingredients. So fresh lemon, olive oil, fresh garlic, and a few dried spices.
Right, so it sounds very exotic, Spanish chicken skewers, but really you have most of these spices on hand. Okay,
absolutely.
So Shauna, the juice of a whole lemon goes right into this recipe. Yeah, the zest of a whole lemon, so you're not even wasting the zest. So much flavor from citrus zest.
Yeah, and both of our recipes today have lemon juice and lemon zest.
And yet they have completely different flavors. It's just amazing. Right, and we have got a tablespoon of smoked paprika here. So I'll pass that to you.
So could you use regular paprika if you didn't have that?
If you don't have the smoked, regular paprika is very delicious too. And we've got a teaspoon of cayenne. Sometimes I just use half a teaspoon. Depends on how spicy I'm feeling like having things or who I'm having over. A teaspoon of salt. A teaspoon of coriander, ground coriander. And we've got a teaspoon of dried oregano, but you could use a whole tablespoon of fresh if you had fresh. When it is summertime and you grow your garden herbs, you're definitely going to want to use fresh oregano in this one. And 4 chopped garlic cloves. So if you like garlic, add all 4. If you want to tone it down a little bit, you can drop that back to about half. Okay, so I'm just going to have you whisk that together for me, Shauna. And then I'll just get you to add the oil as the last. So we're making a nice paste. It's really blending the seasonings, and now we're just drizzling in that oil. Oil carries a lot of flavor. Chicken is very, very lean, so it also helps to ensure that the chicken is nice and tender. Okay. All right.
That on.
Perfect. Oh, it smells so good. Nothing like that fresh lemon. You guys are going to want to try this one for sure. Okay. Beautiful.
Okay.
So, you know, a little tip, hey, Shauna, when you're using citrus in a marinade, it really penetrates the chicken very quickly. So all you have to do is marinate this for as little as 15 minutes in the fridge, but something we love to do, hey, Shauna?
Yeah, you can prep this ahead of time and just store it in the fridge overnight. You can also prep it way ahead of time and freeze it in a freezer bag. This is one of my favorite meal prep tips. When I bring the chicken home from the store, I either slice it up, I marinate it, or even I cook it before I freeze it, just to have those options ready to go.
Exactly. And cooked chicken can be in your freezer for 3 months. So it's so nice and handy. And you know, I love bringing this out to a cottage in the summer, and I'll put it in the Ziploc bag, put it on ice and in the cooler. And boy, that really saves you time. So you can spend more time outside, right?
Yeah.
That's what we want to do here in the summer. Okay, so we've got this delicious marinade, and to accompany this, there's a wonderful yogurt sauce. So we're just going to move on over here. And Shauna, I'm going to get you to help me make this yogurt sauce. So we have a clove of fresh garlic, 1 cup of a full fat yogurt. You can use a Greek yogurt. I love the full fat, you know, 2 to even up to 9% because it's just nice and creamy. Okay, there you go.
Okay, so this is 1 clove of garlic.
Yeah, we've got half a teaspoon of salt, half a teaspoon of pepper, and another teaspoon of our smoked paprika, or like Shauna said, if you've got regular, go for regular. It's something that's in most of our pantries. Okay, I'll get you to mix that up. And then something, oh my goodness, that we both love. Smell that.
Fresh cilantro.
Yeah, a whole cup of fresh cilantro. Now, it's one of those sort of love-hate things. Half of our family loves it, half of our family doesn't. So I'm on the love side. And so sometimes we make the not-so-love side enjoy it anyways. But you can use fresh parsley, or you know what? You can add a little bit of any of your favorite dried herbs, or just skip it all together, because the yogurt with the smoked paprika, the salt and the pepper and the garlic, it's very flavorful. But
yeah, I like the freshness of it, and combined with the yogurt, it's nice cooling effect and contrast with the spice of the marinade.
Yeah, the cayenne and the marinade, this kind of really cools it off, doesn't it? Well, that looks so good. Oh, I can't wait. Yeah. Okay, so we are going to be moving on to our second recipe, but of course, before we do, we have a terrific prize pack this evening. We've got our favorite kitchen tool, our signature Manitoba chicken meat thermometer. These skewers should be cooked. They cook on the grill, medium to high heat, only 3 to 4 minutes per side, so they cook nice and quick, but it should measure 165 degrees into the thickest part of your chicken meat on that skewer, or 74 degrees Celsius. We've got 3 of these prize packs. As I mentioned, we've got a wonderful barbecue basting brush, spatula, we've got brand new Manitoba chicken aprons. And we've got wonderful gloves to use when you are grilling, and these are good to 555 degrees, our silicone gloves. So if you ask Sean or I a question, you will be entered into a draw. And you can also share what your favorite cut of chicken is, because I am curious to know what you like to make your skewers with. We are going to move right on over now to Shauna's recipe. So what are we making here, Shauna?
Okay, so we're making the Za'atar chicken skewers with tahini yogurt dip.
All right. Well, it sounds exotic, but really it's quite...
It does. It does have a few unique ingredients, but again, mostly basic ingredients.
Awesome.
So I used boneless, skinless chicken breast for this recipe. You can also interchange with the boneless, skinless thighs.
Right.
Gina cut her thighs in 3 ribbons. I did the chicken breast in about 5.
Right, because they're bigger.
Yeah.
For sure. Okay.
Okay, so I have about 4 chicken breasts here. This marinade is a little bit chunkier than a typical marinade, so you're just gonna wanna toss it around really well.
Okay.
So Gina, we have 1 small onion that's finely diced.
Nice job, Shauna. Looks great.
Yeah, so I'll get you to add,
Okay.
I have about half of a jalapeno pepper. You can use a serrano chili, you can use dry chili flakes, just something to add a little bit of heat to the marinade.
Well, this is delicious. Okay.
Yes, so we're using fresh herbs in this one. I have a sprig of fresh rosemary. So it's about a tablespoon. If you wanted to use dry, you can use about a teaspoon of dried.
Okay.
And then we have 5 cloves of minced garlic. So one of my favorite shortcuts is just using the jarred minced garlic. Save some time.
So nice.
So we have 5 cloves.
Okay.
And then we have 2 teaspoons of dried marjoram.
Right, so in the same family as our oregano, but just maybe a slightly
it's a little bit
milder
milder.
taste. Yeah, very nice, very nice. Okay,
Okay, so that's a juice of 1 lemon.
again, that citrus. Can't get enough.
And the zest as well.
Okay, yeah, it's always nice to use that zest, right? Prevents food waste. The rest goes into the composter so nicely.
And then we have about a 1/4 cup of canola oil. You can also use olive oil.
Sure. Okay, and then this is the really secret ingredient here, Shauna. I'm going to get you to tell everyone about this. It looks good. It smells good.
Yeah, so we have 3 tablespoons of Za'atar spice.
Okay.
So you can buy this as a spice blend in your grocery store, already blended. We made this one ourselves today. So it contains thyme, oregano, sesame seeds, a little bit of sea salt, and some ground sumac.
Right. So if you've never used sumac before, you're in for a treat, right, Shauna?
Yeah, it has a bit of a citrusy flavor and it's bright red. So it kind of adds a nice color to the chicken too.
Yeah, almost sort of a pinky color. It reminds me of lemon, but a little more
tangy.
Tangy or tart. And now you can find it everywhere. I used to always get it at Bulk Barn, but now we've found it other places.
Yeah, you can get it at Superstore and really anywhere. Okay, so I'll get you to pour that in. That smells nice and fresh.
yeah.
You can really smell the jalapeno.
You can, and you can smell that really, really nice sumac.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's fun to try something different, right? And it has a really beautiful sort of Middle Eastern flavor.
Yeah.
Okay, Shauna.
And it's not actually too spicy with the jalapeno.
No,
you don't notice. And again, this one has another cooling yogurt dipping sauce to go with it.
That's right.
Okay, so we're going to toss it really well.
Okay.
So you want to make sure that everything
and it does. It coats very nicely there.
Yeah, so I marinated these overnight. I think, again, like you said, 15 minutes is good, but the longer you marinate them, the more flavor.
Right, the more the marinade really penetrates the chicken. And then Shauna, this is our summer grilling, but you are a busy mom of 4. So how did you get these done so quickly after a busy day of work?
Right, so I prepared these last night after soccer. I just put them on a sheet pan, a parchment covered sheet pan in the oven at about 425 for about 15 minutes. So
quick.
Yeah, so if you, and I mean, it's quicker to grill them, 2 to 3 minutes on each side.
Right.
But if you don't want to run out to the side or you're at home late and it's dark or really any time.
Exactly. Or if you feel like having Manitoba chicken skewers in the middle of January, you can put them in the oven. You don't have to go out into the snowbank, right?
Yeah, and you know what? We don't even have to use the skewers. The skewers is kind of the most time-consuming part. So you can just skip them, marinate some whole chicken breasts.
Yes.
Or even just in the pieces like that.
Right. So Shauna and I would like to confess we love both these marinades. We love the look of the skewers, but sometimes we just straight out marinate and grill. In fact, that's what I did for supper tonight. The skewers for the party, but for my family, we just had the grilled chicken and it was equally as delicious. Okay, Shauna, this looks wonderful, wonderful. We will be turning on the grill later and getting that chicken on the grill. Okay, so now how do we make this yogurt sauce? It's quite different than the other yogurt sauces.
It is. It will be quite thick.
Okay.
Because of the tahini. So we're doing, this is Greek yogurt, half a cup of Greek yogurt.
Okay.
And then I'm going to add about a 1/4 cup of tahini paste.
Right.
So tahini paste is just ground sesame seeds.
Correct, yeah.
It's widely available in all your grocery stores.
Right.
And if you didn't have any, you could substitute like a sunflower seed butter, peanut butter, almond butter, something a little bit nutty.
Right, exactly.
That has a little bit of the same texture.
Right, and it just has this incredible ability to really emulsify that yogurt. So you can just see how thick that yogurt dip is. And you just kind of spread it right on those skewers and you will not be disappointed. Okay, so what else?
Yeah, so you want to make sure you use a whisk and just whisk it in.
Yes, you do.
Really good.
All right.
So I have a 1/2 teaspoon of salt. And then a clove of minced garlic.
Okay, our friend the garlic. All right. Yeah.
And then the juice of 1/2 lemon.
Okay, excellent. Oh, that is so nice. That really comes together beautifully. It's amazing how when you add something like your tahini or another type of a nut butter and it combines with the yogurt, how it just really thickens things up beautifully.
And you can also, if you want to just add a little bit more of that Za'atar spice,
Yeah.
And we just sprinkled some on top for this time.
Right, and it is just that simple. So that is how our two delicious Manitoba chicken skewers recipes have come together this evening. We hope that all of you will want to try them. And you know what? This is one of our favorite parts about our live, is that we get to answer your questions. But before I forget, I just want to mention that Shauna has brought a special treat tonight to add to our wonderful prize pack. So it just gets that little bit better.
Yeah.
So what did you bring with you tonight,
So
Shauna?
I'm adding to the prize packs. I have a planner pad, so it has a removable grocery list, so you can plan all your meals, take your grocery list to the store, and then you keep your meal plans just to go back on later. So if you're feeling lazy or you don't want to think of meal plan ideas, then you already have them.
Good idea.
And I also have planner magnets, so you can keep them on your fridge and
Shauna is the ultimate organizer. She's always got wonderful tips and tricks to share with all of us. It's always so much fun. So now we'd like to turn the floor over to all of you. And we've got Ian here, our extraordinary videographer, helping us stream this tonight on 2 platforms. So Ian, he's also going to moderate the questions.
Yeah, we've had a few people ask about the ground sumac. Can you just explain what it is and also where we can find it?
Sure. Okay, so you can buy ground sumac. It's just a ground spice. It comes just in a glass jar with, you would find it in the grocery store with other spices. And we found it at Superstore, Bulk Barn.
Yeah, and it has a red color. It kind of looks like ground.
It's like almost like coffee grounds, kind of.
Kind of that thickness, yeah, and it's the color of pomegranate. It's hard to see here, but maybe you can see we just sprinkled a little bit right on top, but it has a very, very distinctly red color. And when you look at these skewers, they almost have taken on a little bit of a pinkish color when the sumac gets combined with the other spices in that marinade. So yeah, take a look for it. To me, it reminds me of a tart lemon. Yeah, it's very common in Middle Eastern cuisine. Good question.
Somebody was asking how long they should marinate the chicken.
Okay, well, both of these recipes marinate a minimum of 15 minutes. Always marinate in the fridge to keep your food safe. But
yeah, you can marinate them overnight.
Exactly.
And as I said, you can put them in a Ziploc bag and also marinate them in the freezer.
yeah, so you'd want to marinate first in the fridge and then transfer to the freezer. For chicken that's already been marinated, I would make sure you use it within a month, though. Yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
That was one of our questions. How long marinated chicken in the freezer?
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you want to marinate it, get yourself planned and prepared, and make sure that you work it into your meal plan within the next month. Yeah,
Absolutely.
It just doesn't last as long. But just regular frozen chicken parts, 6 months, and a whole chicken, 12 months in the freezer. And if you go to our cooking school page, we've got a great little sheet or a little bit of a chart that will give you all the information on how long to keep your chicken in the freezer. And also, I just want to mention in our prize packs, we're going to have our booklets, our More Cooking with Manitoba Chicken. And in here, we have a great little storage guide for how long you can store chicken in the fridge or the freezer. This is also on our website. But I also just want to point out that there's a couple other great grilling recipes in here. Our classic chicken burgers is in this cookbook, and at the very back, we also have our hoisin chicken drumsticks. So for anyone that wants one of these booklets, just send a direct message to Manitoba Chicken, and I'll be happy to get one of these out in the mail to you.
Somebody was asking, how do you test that the skewers are ready to eat?
Well, 3 to 4 minutes per side, but definitely our favorite kitchen tool is our meat thermometer. So, you would just insert the thermometer tip into the thickest part of the skewer. So let's just say it would be this one. It would go in there. You'd wait for it to come up to temperature. It should be 165 degrees Fahrenheit or 74 degrees Celsius. So for any chicken part, bone in, boneless, or ground chicken, that is the correct temperature. These digital thermometers are so nice because you can turn them on and off and switch between Celsius and Fahrenheit. If you are going to put a whole roast chicken on the grill, like you guys love to, you guys have a rotisserie, eh?
Yeah, we like to smoke the chicken sometimes, but yeah, we always use the thermometer.
Right, so whole chicken, 180 degrees Fahrenheit or 82 degrees Celsius. All right, so yeah, good question. Best kitchen tool, best investment you can buy. Because you know what? You don't want to undercook chicken, but you certainly don't want to overcook chicken either and dry it out. Because chicken is so naturally lean that you don't want to overcook it and make it super dry. So the only way to know for sure that your chicken is properly cooked is to use a meat thermometer.
Somebody was asking if they can reuse the wooden skewers.
I wouldn't.
Cannot.
No.
No, not from a food safety standpoint. But you can buy metal skewers if you want, and those can be used over and over and over again. And they're a great investment if you're someone that's just a huge grilling fan. Those would be a great, hey, that might make a great Mother's Day gift for all those moms out there. Drop a little hint.
And then somebody was asking for your favorite suggestions for sides to serve with these skewers.
Oh, yes. Okay, go ahead, Shauna.
I like to just do like a fresh salad, like a green salad, or some grilled flatbread, some naan maybe. You can also kind of make them into a wrap, kind of take them off the skewers, add some of the dipping sauce and a few fresh toppings. That's how I would like to serve them.
Yeah, I also love serving these over rice, like a basmati rice or a jasmine rice, something that's really like a scented rice. And then some of the sides, I like to just do like a very simple potato salad or a coleslaw to go on the side. I also love to do roasted potato wedges on the other side of the barbecue. And that yogurt sauce is so delicious on roast potato wedges. So certainly the sky is the limit. And then these make fantastic little finger food if you're having some type of a backyard barbecue. Maybe you're doing a barbecue for mom coming up on the weekend. Make little appetizer size, and then any other, raw veggies, fruit plates, all those kinds of things. These can just fit right in as part of the party. Yeah.
Just had one more. Somebody was asking, what's the best way to defrost chicken?
Very important. Important to thaw your chicken in the fridge overnight. Put it in a pan that's got an edge, just in case there's any juice that comes from that chicken. And I also like to recommend putting it on the lowest shelf of the fridge. So if you go to manitobachicken.ca and you go to our cooking school, we've got all kinds of great tips for preparing, storing, cooking chicken, and we have extensive information on how to safely thaw chicken, and that really is the best way. You never want to thaw your chicken on the counter because that's not food safe. If you're in a pinch and you need it to thaw a little bit faster, we have instructions on how you can do that in the microwave, not my favorite way, or in a cold water bath that you can put it in cold water and it will quicken the thawing of that chicken. But really just, if you're like Shauna and you do a little bit of advanced meal prep, pull that chicken out the night before.
Yeah, and again, always put it in the fridge. I think there's a little bit of misconception that you can defrost it in hot water, but that is not food safe. Don't do that.
No.
Always cold water. But again, follow the instructions at manitobachicken.ca in the cooking school section.
Yeah, perfect. All right. Well, thank you guys all for tuning in, taking some time out of, I would say, probably the most beautiful Manitoba evening that we have had so far in 2023. It's always such a pleasure to have the opportunity to share this information with all of you. And it's such a pleasure to have had Shauna join me this evening. Thank you very much, Shauna. And of course, a huge shout out and thank you to all of our Manitoba chicken farmers out there that ensure that we have access to this healthy local chicken 12 months of the year. So happy grilling, happy summer. Everyone have a great summer, and we are going to be getting excited to do another Facebook Live to celebrate National Chicken Month in September. So enjoy your summer, everyone. Thanks for tuning in, and we will send a direct message to 3 lucky winners of our prize pack tonight. Take care.
Thank you.